Deontay Wilder says Anthony Joshua is surely next should he get past Tyson Fury in the rematch. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated WBC American Heavyweight Champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder does an interview in which he addresses Anthony Joshua's situation. He says that he's definitely looking forward to the Tyson Fury rematch, which is all but done and announced. He said it's done. They're just waiting for a venue, because he says that it's definitely going to take place here in the States. He says that unless Fury backs out of it or anything of that sort of nature, it's definitely going to happen again. This is what Deontay Wilder said, right? He says, but to my understanding, as of right now, everything is good. It's looking like maybe Vegas, maybe Barclays Center in New York, who knows, right? A lot of people wanted to fight, and a lot of UK fans wanted this fight, the rematch, to take place in the UK, but Deontay Wilder addressed the reason for it not taking place in the UK. He states that it will definitely be back here. Our pay-per-view prices are just way higher than over in the UK. You guys pay only like $25, but we can go from 50 to 100 easy, and that's with everything, right? And now this is where he gets into, he's asked about Anthony Joshua. Is he ever going to face Anthony Joshua? What's taking place with the situation with Anthony Joshua? And he states, if he is ready, I am ready. Wilder said, like I said, he got to be fair. It's got to be a write down, and that he said it's got to be right down, and that's in the thing about it. He means it's got to be fair and right down the middle. You know, they missed some words in this article, but he meant to say, you know, he was saying rather that, you know, it has to be fair and right down the middle. You know, it can't be tipped in one way or tipped in the other way. I'm sure there's going to be things tipped in Anthony Joshua's favor, and there'll be some things tipped in that Deontay Wilder wishes to have, right? But he's just saying you got to call it fair. You know what I mean? You got to be equal in the situation, right? He says, and he goes on to say, this is what I've been saying. He said they thought that there were going to be only people, and everybody had to abide by their rules and rotate around them. This is what I've been stating, right? I stated this earlier, right? They thought that, you know, he couldn't find another equal dance partner. This is what Eddie Hearn said. Eddie Hearn stated that Alexander Povetkin was going to raise Anthony Joshua's stock. And then Eddie Hearn went on to say, who can Deontay Wilder fight to raise his stock? There's nobody out there. This is when they were still negotiating and going back and forth with things of that nature, and Alexander Povetkin was looked at as a viable option should the Wilder fight not come to fruition, and that was Eddie Hearn's words. He said that Alexander Povetkin is going to raise Anthony Joshua's stock, but who can Deontay Wilder fight and face to raise his stock? And surely Eddie Hearn was absolutely wrong, right? Because Tyson Fury, he got Tyson Fury, who raised his stock. Actually, Tyson Fury raised his stock, and Deontay Wilder raised his stock, right? So both of them raised their stock. Deontay Wilder goes on to say, but we had to show them. I had to grab my career, and I had to go and do my own thing, and that's what I'm doing. I had to move on to Tyson Fury, right? And so, you know, but he's saying that should he get past Tyson Fury, which is not going to be an easy task, it's definitely a tall task. We saw in the first fight, Tyson Fury is a very difficult opponent. Tyson Fury is very awkward. Tyson Fury has great boxing ability. So, you know, we see that it's very difficult opponent, so it's not going to be easy task. It's not a foregone conclusion that Deontay Wilder just go in there and knock Tyson Fury out and move on to Anthony Joshua. It's definitely going to be a tough fight. So, you know, definitely looking forward to it. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 2. And from what I'm hearing, it's, you know, they stated that it could be late April, you know, early May. I'm thinking more likely scenario and situation is that it will take place in sometime in May. You know, I think it'll be the May 18th date opposed to the April 27th date. Why? Because of other pay-per-views and, You know, you don't want to put a strain on your pockets and things of that nature. You know, so you want to try to keep it. The week before, you got Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan, April 20th, which is pay-per-view. And although it might not do great numbers, people are not going to want to play twice for pay-per-view. They're just not. You know, I'm not expecting Amir Khan versus Terrence Crawford to do 1 million pay-per-view buys. But let's say it do 100,000 pay-per-view buys. That's still 100,000 people that just paid for pay-per-view, and you're asking them to pay for pay-per-view the very following weekend. That's going to be real difficult. And seeing as though, you know, you don't want to lose 100, it's only 100,000 people may buy the fight, right? Maybe 150,000 people, 200,000, so on and so forth, whatever the number may be. Well, you don't want to lose 100,000 people to not buy your fight. That's a lot of people. Okay, so you don't want to risk losing that 100,000 people because they already paid the week before for a fight, and now they got to pay the very next week for a fight. So I don't see them doing the April 27th. I definitely see them doing it May 18th. So I'm all but certain it's going to be May 18th or another date in May. Okay, but the interesting thing here is Deontay Wilder said that he's definitely looking to fight Anthony Joshua next should he get past Tyson Fury. So everybody can stop crying and getting in a hissy fit that he says should he be victorious with this fight, he's definitely looking to make the fight with Anthony Joshua. So all the people out there that's crying, hooting and hollering and complaining, you know what, it's only going to make the fight that much bigger at this point. That's all it's going to do. It's just going to make the fight that much bigger at this point in time, right? Why? Because Anthony Joshua now is going to be making his U.S. debut against Gerald Big Baby Miller, and should he be victorious in that fight, you know, against my hometown guy, Gerald Big Baby Miller, and I wish him all the luck in that fight, you know, but should Anthony Joshua get past Gerald Big Baby Miller, right, here in the States at Madison Square Garden, right, that's going to uplift and boost his career, right? People in the States, I don't know how well it would do, but guess what? People will get to lay eyes on him in the States for the very first time, right? And people will actually know who Anthony Joshua is outside the hardcore boxing fans in the States, right? And then when Deontay Wilder faces Anthony Joshua, it makes that fight just that much more bigger, point blank and period, no matter where it takes place at that point in time. Should Deontay Wilder get past Tyson Fury in dramatic fashion and Anthony Joshua beats Gerald Big Baby Miller in dramatic fashion, which is not a foregone conclusion for either fight. It's a tough fight for both guys. You know, for Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, we already saw a tough fight, and Gerald Big Baby Miller is nobody's pushover. So that's just what it is, okay? And with that said, you know, the people get to lay eyes on both of these guys only a month apart. Only a month apart, right? Because Wilder fights Fury in May 18th is what I'm thinking, and then we see Anthony Joshua versus Gerald Miller just a few weeks later, 2 weeks later to be exact, versus Gerald Miller in the States at Madison Square Garden. And I'm expecting Anthony Joshua to be present at Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury, and I'm expecting Deontay Wilder to be present at Anthony Joshua Gerald Big Baby Miller. Makes it just that much more interesting, right? So he says that as long as they fair, he's definitely looking to make the fight with Anthony Joshua. He said if he's ready, I'm ready, let's make it happen. So that's good news, that's great news. That's great news to hear from both guys, you know. So hopefully both guys can get this done, we get the fight that we want, and history be made. We want to see the best fight the best, point blank and period. But I don't want to say or pretend to, I don't want these fighters, Anthony Joshua, to look past Gerald Big Baby Miller, because it's not a foregone conclusion that he's going to beat Gerald Big Baby Miller. And I don't want Deontay Wilder to look past Tyson Fury, because it's definitely not a foregone conclusion that he's going to get past Tyson Fury, right? It's going to be tough tasks in front of them. But that's just to bolster a fight between them if should they get past these two challenges. But that's all I got for y'all. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like the Shady's video. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
To Blue Blood Sports TV, baby, from the